buy a house. Just buy a house. Like and subscribe. What's up, YouTube? This is my first video on my channel, and it's called Buy a House. We're going to be covering 5 topics, 5 points as to why you should buy a house. Best thing I ever did. Should have bought one way earlier. I rented for a long time. There's just a lot of cons to renting. For one, every month you pay whatever amount of money, and you don't really get anything back. You know, it's not going towards anything. You're never going to see that money again. It's not an investment. It is, but it's a 1-month investment. So, first topic we're going to cover. You're in control. So when you have an apartment or a rental house or any rental, the first thing I've noticed, the first issues that I had were you've got a landlord or overseeing company that's going to have people come in for inspections. They're going to come in for repairs, maintenance, whatever. They have to give you a 24-hour notice, but it still doesn't feel very private. This is your home, right? This is everything you own. This is your whole life in this building. And you've got strangers coming in to check on whatever it is, safety precautions. You know, they're good things, but it doesn't feel very private. It doesn't feel like a safe place to have your things. At least not to me. It never did. It's just, you always have to wonder, you know, did they take anything? Did they walk in this area, that area, while you're at work? Not for me. So in a house, obviously you're in complete control of who comes into that house, and for what reasons, and what time, and you're there when they're there if you want to be. You don't have to worry. It's a safer place. It's just more privacy. Privacy, it's a good thing. It's America. Everybody wants to have a safe space. So, I'm going to cover point number 2. Your house will increase in value over time. The real estate market, it's up and down all over the place, but over the long period of time, your home value is going to increase somewhere around 3% per year. That's about enough to keep up with inflation, and that's part of the reason that your home value does increase. As more money gets put into the system, the dollar gets to be worth less and less, but your house is always going to be worth a house. So it's going to take more dollars to buy that house. Now, if you're maintaining your home, you're keeping things up, you're not allowing damage or pets, peeing in the house, things that are going to depreciate the value, you're going to increase in value. More than 3% maybe. It depends on what you add into the house, aesthetics, obviously the roof, insulation, the big key factors. There's a lot that goes into it. But you're in control, and it's increasing in value every year. It's an asset. It's, maybe you don't think of a home as an asset. You think of it as a place to live, a place to come home from work, a place to keep all of your stuff, but it is an asset. You are an owner of property. That property is increasing in value, and it's exponentially better than having an apartment or even a rental home, because every time you pay that monthly payment towards it, you're getting a little piece of it. That's like the bank owns it, right? The bank owns it. If you don't pay the bank, they're going to come take your house. They're going to kick you out of it. But every month you pay you get that little piece, you're more of an owner. Eventually, you own the whole thing. Well, then the government owns it, but you own most of it. You just have to pay the government to live there. Property taxes never go away. I think my property taxes here, I think it's $412 a month. And that is for the rest of eternity. And it's going to go up, never down. Can't pay it off. But that's as close to being a homeowner as we get. Pay off the debt. All you've got left is property taxes, and then your utilities, obviously, forever. Point number 3, you don't have noisy neighbors. You could have noisy neighbors. They're not going to be above you stomping. They're not going to be below you. They're not going to care if you stomp. You can make a lot more noise. You have privacy. You have seclusion. You can do whatever you want in your house, and you're way less likely to have issues from neighbors. You're going to run into a lot of issues in an apartment, especially if you're not the top floor. You're going to have people above you. It always sounds like somebody's on a treadmill up there, or they've got a pet elephant. Something crazy. Like, it never makes sense. How can one person make that much noise? But they do. And then the people below you, they're going to have problems with your noise. They're going to be banging on the ceiling, tell you quiet down, quit making noise. You're going to have neighbors down the hall. They're going to have dogs that bark every time you walk out. They hear someone walking by. They're just trying to defend their property, but there's always a neighbor, and there's always noise, and you're always going to run into issues with neighbors. In a house, none of that. You're in your home, unless you've got a townhome or something connected to another house, but even then you got a lot thicker walls. It's not like an apartment at all. But you can make as much noise as you want. You can leave the lights on. You can stomp all night long. Anything you want to do. You have a house. You're a homeowner. Way better. All right, we're going to move on to point number 4. Pets. Apartments, I know a lot of them are pet friendly, but you've got to pay a deposit on the pet. You might have to pay more per month to have a pet. You have to let your landlord know what pets you have. If you're getting a new pet, they want to be updated. They want to know what's in there, what could possibly cause damage to their property. Owning a pet is a hassle in an apartment. In a house, any damage done by that pet, that's yours. You do have more responsibility, but it's your house. You're going to take care of it better. You're going to watch out for your things, your floors, your walls. You're going to pay more attention than you would in an apartment because this is yours. This is your place. You want to baby it. You want it to last. So it's just better all around. I'm not a big pet person because I'm very rarely home. Even as a homeowner, I'm here for a few hours a day. As you can see, I've got fish. Hey, fishies. There's a lot of them in there. I've got 3 aquariums. Probably too many, but I don't have a dog, so it takes 40 fish to equal having a dog. So that's where I'm at. I got 40 fish, 3 snails, a salamander, a frog, 2 turtles. It's the equivalent of having a dog without all the... I don't know. I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to edit this out. Anyway, big perk. If you have a house, you can have whatever pets you want. Certain cities have guidelines or stipulations. For example, I think in my city, you can have 3 dogs and 2 cats, or 5 dogs, or 5 cats. I think it's just your normal pets. You can have a total of 5, but they word it so that you can have 3 dogs or 2 dogs and 3 cats. As long as that adds up to 5, I'm pretty sure. I need to look that up, do a little more research, but every city is different. You want to check your city's guidelines. What pets can you have? But like I said, you're a lot more private. No one's going to come check on your pets. No one's going to come in and see if your pet's wrecked anything. They're not going to charge you deposits on your... the bank doesn't care if you have pets. You're free to do what you want. Not to mention, no one can come in for repairs or inspections, and you don't have to worry about locking your pet in a room all day or warning your landlord, hey, I've got a dog and I'm going to be at work and I don't want people around the dog because, they could get bit and the dog doesn't like strangers. You can just let your pets run around the house. That's up to you. Hopefully they're trained well. There's just a lot more freedom to having a house. And I'm sure there's a lot more points I could add. I'll probably continue to do videos on why buying a house is a great first step. We're probably going to tap into real estate in this channel. That first house you buy, you might think of it as a home. It's your house. It's the place you live. But you're also a real estate owner. That real estate is going to increase in value over time. It's going to get you started as an investment. Maybe you buy another house down the road. You keep this one as a rental. That's what I plan to do. I'm hoping to go house shopping next year and keep this one. I'll keep tenants in here that at least cover my mortgage and then a little bit of profit on top of that for repairs or just general upkeep and stuff like that. And then as my house increases in value and I pay off that loan, eventually it'll be paid off and this house will be completely profit. Everything I'm paid per month with someone living here will just be profit, passive income. And we're going to do a video on passive income as well. It's my favorite kind of income. It's money that comes to you while you're sleeping or whatever you do. So that is about going to wrap up my first YouTube video. I'm going to try to create my first thumbnail for this video. That should be interesting. I have no idea what I'm doing. I guess subscribe and like. I'll probably say that a lot. I'm hoping I can at least get enough subscribers in my first year of doing this to make it worth my while, have a reason to continue the channel. I'm hoping to cover all things finance related. Buying a house, do it. That is the best first step. But as once you've got the house, you're paying hopefully not all of your money down to the house. You're gonna save up. There's a lot of things you can do with money after that. But that house, that first step, especially if you're single. If you're single, you don't have a family, buy a house, rent a room out to your friends rent a basement out. You can Airbnb. That's what I do. I Airbnb my basement. You rent out a couple rooms. All of a sudden, you're paying $100 a month, $200 a month on your mortgage. That's a whole lot cheaper than an apartment. A whole lot more privacy, and you're in control. So, again, buy a house. Worth it. Like, subscribe. See you on the next video.